voices amplified. Earground Radio. New voices amplified.
Greetings and welcome to Earground. My name is Claude Marco, and it's a pleasure to be joining you. And this is Earground Africa, where we are looking around Africa and connecting with the artists and creatives that are working on the continent. And our second artist on the African feature is BONIQUE Lomar, an artist from Uganda, Kampala, Uganda. He's a composer, is a recording artist, and is also an occasional painter. So welcome, Bonique. Thank you so much for joining us on Earground.
Yeah, it's a really great pleasure to be here, and yeah, it's quite exciting, and yeah.
Great. It's actually an honor and a privilege to have you here because you're one of the fastest rising artists in Uganda right now. And tell us a bit about your background, how you grew up, where you grew up, and how you got into music.
I was born in 1995, 28 December. I grew up in Kampala. I was born in Kampala, the capital of Uganda. And I'm from a family of 5 kids, actually 6. I'm the firstborn.
Okay, great.
I started music in primary school. That was around 2007. I was in primary 6. I joined the marching band. I started in the choir as a solist artist. I was a lead singer. Then I joined the marching band, used to play trumpet, trombone. I learned some sheet music. So from there, I picked more interest in singing than playing the wind instruments. So I decided to start singing, and I realized it's so fun, the most fun thing I do. And then I tried playing around with sound to see if I can come up with something new. So that's how I started singing, and taking it serious, wanting to be a musician. It was when I joined high school. That's where I met friends who challenged me. They were like, "Yo, you're so good. Why don't you sing?" And I used to hide, but then they used to get me and force me to have a concert, and they used to give me some little money. So that boosted my morale. I was like, so this can actually be my job. So that's how I joined music. And then later on, I kept on meeting new people, Art in Pro. A producer who inspired me, John Mary, John Kay, Andrew Kagumba. I met a lot of people. Then Remy Mayanja, then Roberta. So so it has been quite a journey.
Great. When we hear of music from Africa, we always have either a cliche, we're thinking of traditional music, but right now there's Afro-pop. Sort of the music that's trending. You have sort of a unique sound, and I would want you to describe the kind of sound that you do. And I found it a very special, unique sound because for me, it brought a connection between my, the traditional sound to the urban sound. I felt like your sound is one sound that sort of accommodates 2 generations. Tell us about yourself.
Actually, I was challenged by, I love African stuff and I love urban music. So I was like, how can I fuse African and urban? So I tried playing around with sound in studio. So I developed this sound where it's like a sub-genre. So it's like half African, half Western, but mainly African. So then I make it groovy. So people can dance to it. You can even sit and listen to it. So it cuts across. So I was like, I just wanted to bring out that Afro fusion. You get it? You
Yeah.
know, people follow like a lot of bandwagon today, but I wanted to do something new, like something artistic, my art, like to express myself musically.
Wow. And talking about your art, how much appreciation do you feel you're getting? Uh, like in Zimbabwe, when you're doing music, at first that what comes through is like a bit of condemnation. There's still a bit of stereotypes slowly changing, but you'd
Yeah.
find it's like, oh, go to work, go to school, and get like a formal employment. But you
Mm.
decided to get into music. Did you find yourself supported in your career, or you also faced a bit of those challenges?
Well, honestly, it's like if you are still a rising star, it's
Yeah.
there are always challenges. But what was so important to me was doing something I really love. I wanted to do something like to be my job and at the same time like a leisure. So I wanted to like I really want to do something I love. So at some point, well, it's not about getting rich. It's about like who you are, your personality, what you love. So can you make other people love what you love? So it's not always about money, it's about passion at some point. But well, we all dream to be somewhere,
Mhm.
and that's the dream. But the most important thing is still to understand who you are, and yeah, and put your passion up front.
Great. And talking about your passion and talking about uh, what that passion has produced, how many productions have you done so far? Have you produced albums? Have you produced singles? Any videos? I've watched a couple of videos from you, but how has been your body of work? What do you have in terms of your catalog so far?
Well, I've I've like quite like some audios.
Yes.
I haven't released an album yet. So this coming month, I'm planning to record release 2 songs. I have uh, 3 songs already streaming online.
Yeah.
I have How We Grow. I have this song ya Karibu. So then I have 2 videos of which but I'm planning to like in the next couple of months to actually release quite a number of products out there.
Okay. Great. Great. And the music scene in Kampala, in Uganda,
Yeah,
how
yeah.
is it like right now? If for me, I listen to a lot of Chameleon. I
Mm-hmm.
In the past I was listening to a lot of Radio Nwizo,
Ah,
and Eddie Kenzo is also an artist who plays a lot in Zimbabwe. But how is the scene now?
well, the scene is so dancer, you know, so dancer, and yeah. Well, the people you mentioned, they are more like even the people inspired me because like we are almost in the same genre.
Yeah, yeah.
So only that I deviate a little, but
Mhm.
well, the scene right now it's more like mainstream, and the type of mainstream is okay, like dance or like club music. That's what's happening in Kampala. So the type of music I'm doing, yes, it's quite a challenge to penetrate,
Mhm.
but you know we have to sell an idea because actually Chameleon before
Yeah.
he made it into music, there was this type of music called Kadongo Kamu. So it's
Okay.
more like yeah, like it's okay. It was this song where like someone is like it was more poetic, singing like for
Okay.
15 minutes one song. So they came up with this type of music. You know Bobby Wine?
Yeah, I know Bobby Wine.
Yeah, Bobby
Yeah,
Wine,
yeah.
Bobby Wine, Chameleon, and Baby Cool.
People
So those are
power.
the yeah, yeah. So Baby Cool, Bobby Wine, and Chameleon, they are the
Yes.
people who pioneered this type of music, the
Mhm.
mainstream music. That was around 1990s. So, so like the things have changed. They faced a lot of challenges. That's why even I'm trying to start something, though it's challenging. But if those of Chameleon did not continue with what they were doing, maybe we would still be back in the days of that type of music.
Great. And talking about the change that you are creating with your music, what sort of narrative are you driving? Like, what stories are you telling through your music? If somebody listens to your music, be they from Uganda or from elsewhere, what sort of impression, what sort of message and stories do you leave them with?
Well, mainly, I sing a lot of like love. Uh, I, I want to preach love, and the other thing is I want people to feel our African vibe. You get it?
Yes.
Like people outside to feel our African vibe in their vibe. You get?
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so that's more like the message. My instrumentation is the message, and I preach love. So I don't do like politics and stuff. I
Yeah.
just want to preach love. Yeah. Romantic, and then the other like communal love. So like my message is about love.
And talking about that message, do you find more women or more men or both responding to it?
Well, the ladies are actually respond positively to it.
I can
The
imagine.
ladies love my music, and
Yes.
the men, men have to first be influenced by the ladies.
By the ladies.
So I have a few guys who actually love my music. People who listen to contemporary music.
Yeah.
So they listen to my music a lot. But the ladies, yeah, they actually appreciate my music and they keep me going.
Wow.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and do you get to do a lot of shows in Uganda?
Yeah, I I do mainly like contemporary shows,
Yes.
festivals, and I'm having a house concert coming
Oh,
up on
great.
21st of this
Yeah.
month. That is on Saturday.
Mhm.
Then on 4th next month, I'm having another concert.
Yes.
So yeah, I've been doing a lot of I do concerts here and there, but I've not been engaging a lot. The other side, I'm a music producer, so
Mhm.
I've been more in studio, working
The
with clients
producing.
and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, but right now, I really want to dedicate a lot of time to my music and develop it, and then get it out there. And I know it's going to hit you guys real hard.
Great. We're looking forward to that. And, and, and,
Yeah.
and talking about changes and the transformation, now you're under Intos Productions. And
Yeah,
I've looked at their catalog. I've seen some of the artists that they're working with. In Zimbabwe, they're working with Priya So and a few other artists. And what does this mean to your career? What does it mean to your music to be part of this?
wow, bro, this is like really massive thing. We are really on the same page. Like
Yeah.
Aunt House, they really love my music, and in Uganda, well, getting people who appreciate this contemporary music, it's very
Yes.
hard. That the African vibe has been like influenced a lot by some other dancehall vibe. So if get people like Aunt House who want to promote this African culture, it
Yeah.
really means a lot to me. So there are and I believe that in the next couple of months we are going to do great things together because I'm going to work hard
Yeah.
so that we achieve it. And it's really important, like to finally work with people who really feel my vibe.
Great. And talking about your vibe, in the next 5 years, where do we see Bonique?
Man, just know BONIQUE is going to be massive all over it.
Yeah, man. I'll be breaking in the next 5 years. I'll be like, look, man, I managed to speak to him. I know
Yeah,
this guy.
man. Yeah.
Look at
So
you, man. Yeah.
so right now,
So I'm speaking there to Bonique, an artist, a composer, uh, a recording artist from Uganda, Kampala. Yes.
like, that's heading towards that direction of music, and I want to continue pushing, and I want to do great music, better music, like all the same vibe. So
Yeah.
in the next 5 years, bro, yeah,
Yeah.
man, BONIQUE is going to be massive all over the place, all over Europe, Americas,
Yes.
Australia. Just know my music. I want it to go to like reach everyone in the globe. So I just want to preach the African vibe in a modern feel. Yeah.
And reaching those stages, there must be something that drives you. What drives
Yeah,
you? What's the motive behind you? Like what sort of keeps the fire burning in your creative engine?
yeah, like really, I'm a big dreamer. I really want to like get places. I really want to meet people. I want to
Yeah,
like interact with people. Um, I want to get my music there. So what keeps on pushing me is that greatness. I want to like really get our African pride out there, and then and even make give hope to other people who are doing this similar type of music
yeah,
that you can really make it. So right now people are not quite sure, like artists, there's a lot of talents dying, people
mhm,
are chasing mainstream, but
yeah,
I want to like make everyone know that you can still like get where you want to be with that type of art, the particular art you have,
yes.
your new vibe. Yeah.
Great. I like the way you're so confident about your sound, about your vibe, about your music, and I think that's one thing that I find quite striking and encouraging to see that you have that deeper conviction. And
Yeah,
I'm very
yeah,
positive from what I listened to. I was quite impressed, and I was like, I
yeah,
need to have
man.
this artist, on
Thanks,
interview.
man. Thanks, man. That's
Thank
really
you so
great.
much.
I'm having a very big vibe coming up.
Yeah,
It's called Songa ya Karibu. It's
yeah.
really the video is going to be out soon, and yeah, this is really going to be quite massive.
Great, great.
Yeah,
And talking about distribution, how do people get music in Uganda? In Zimbabwe, we use a lot of WhatsApp. We lose it. There's actually an ongoing conversation right now in terms of whether piracy is helping artists or not, is killing artists, that kind of thing. Some saying, oh, look, it's giving us the views and the traction for us to get live shows, and no one is really downloading my music. How is the situation? How do people get music in Kampala?
well, this is Africa. What is in Zimbabwe is in Kampala. So
Mm,
in Kampala, WhatsApp, you have to get like you really have to get engage with people on social media. You have to like like create WhatsApp groups, share your music through WhatsApp, and Facebook, share links, YouTube links, and all those stuff.
yeah,
Well, here our copyright isn't like so systematic.
yeah,
It's well, it's something that is yet to develop.
yeah.
So here, like, there's a lot of piracy as well. But what really artists want a lot, like, well, people are listening to your music. It doesn't matter if it's pirated or what. But at the end of the day, you have to like achieve from your music. You have to make a
And start making money
online
out of it.
sales. Yeah, and that is really crippling artists here. We are not making a lot of online sales. Yeah, so it's quite a tricky situation. But in the next few years, I think they are working on it. With
Yeah.
Bobby Wine around, I see things are going to
I'm going
change.
to make some changes.
Yeah,
Great,
yeah.
great.
Hmm.
And you've talked about song ya Karibu, which is coming out
Uh-huh.
soon.
Yeah.
Are we able to get even a snippet, even 15 seconds, 20 seconds of that song?
Right now,
Even an
maybe
a
next
cappella?
time. Oh, my baby love, my sweetie love, my sweetie love. Songa ya karibu nami baby love. Songa ya karibu nami bibi yangu. My baby love, my sweetie love, my sweetie love. Yeah, man. That's a
Pull up,
glimpse of
pull
a
up, pull
chorus.
up.
Just know the
Nice.
instrumentation is massive. The sound is
Great.
massive. Yeah.
Great, great. And for somebody who's watching you for the first time, they're watching from another part of Africa or from Zimbabwe. What
Mm.
word would you want to pass on to them?
Well, one thing, most importantly, the first word, I encourage you to love Bonique music,
Yeah,
because Bonique, it's a down-to-earth musician, and having a great sound, promoting African sound.
yeah,
Uh, and I really want another thing, another word, you like really to love your culture. even if you are where, even if you are around the world, even if you are white or black, like we're one people, but you
Yes.
still have to love your culture, like your roots are what makes you who you are, your traditions. So
Yes.
that's one thing I really encourage my fellow Africans and everyone else, that it's really important. Another thing, to sell your culture. Yeah, it's really important to sell your culture, your vibe. So that's one word I pass to you, and still love Bonique music.
Wow, that's quite interesting. You've said so much profound words there, because I know from their background, a lot of young people are shying away from their own culture. They're trying to sound Western, they're trying to sound European, to sound American, from their sound to everything, even the
Yeah.
way that they just represent themselves. And it's quite encouraging to hear from a young artist who's very much passionate. As
Yeah.
much as you've tapped into the urban sound, you still remained rooted. And that's one
Yeah.
thing that I picked from your music. And
Mhm.
connecting with Bonique, how do people get access to you? How do they connect to you? What are your social media handles?
Well, you can check me on YouTube. Bonique Lomar. Bonique is Bonique. Then Lomar, Lomar. You can that's the same way you can reach me on Instagram, on all social media platforms. I use Bonique Lomar. Yeah.
Great. Any collaborations that we could expect soon, you and other artists, not necessarily from Uganda, but from elsewhere, possibly from Zimbabwe?
Yeah, actually, Prayer Soul is really some big fire out there, and it will really
Awesome.
be great to work with him.
Yeah.
And I want to work with like a lot of artists around the world. Just know, like, I really want to fuse culture. I want, like, let me say, any artist from, let me say, Europe, from anywhere. Like, as long as we can engage, then you bring your culture, I bring mine, we fuse, then create that unique sound.
Yes.
So that is really, 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 really great. Very important.
Great, great. And yeah, thank you so much. I mean, we look forward to that, and we'll stay, tuned into the work that you're working. We'll keep following you, and we're going
Yeah, man.
to also share a couple of your links. And
Yeah.
in Luganda,
Yeah.
yes, that's the language that you speak, right?
Yeah.
Great,
But
great.
actually, quite interesting. Like, I'm not a Moganda.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I have like four tribes in me. So, like, my father is from Ethiopia,
Yeah.
and then, like, but like initially I'm like more like composed of Luo. So
Okay.
I speak, so I just learned Luganda, but it happened to be the language that like my second language after English.
Okay,
So
great.
Luganda, so in Luganda is the language we use here in the capital,
Yeah.
Kampala.
Mhm.
Yeah. So if you want to say hello in Luganda, you can say Oliotia. Then
Olioja.
then you
Okay.
reply JND.
JND. Okay.
Yeah, JND. Yes. Yeah, it's a very easy language. Like, you guys, if you come to Uganda,
Yeah, yeah.
it's quite easy to learn. It's not difficult. By the way, I tried to learn Shona.
Shona. Oh, okay. Do you know some words in
Ah,
Shona?
Magadi is Magadi.
Magadi.
Yeah, Magadi. Magadi. But I forgot the reply. Magadi, then the other one is Magadi. Okay. If I say Magadi, how do you reply?
They say Ndakasimba or the Tiripoedu. There are different like ways to,
Tiripoedu.
yeah, or
Tiripoedu.
yeah, or you use the slang one, Diribo.
Tribo.
Yeah.
Yeah, tribo. Tribo is simpler.
Yeah, it's simple. Wow, thank you so much, man. It's it's
Yeah,
it's
man.
been it's been
It's really a great pleasure.
it's been a great pleasure, and I feel like it wasn't an interview. I feel like this was an experience, experiencing your life, your culture, your
Yeah.
aspirations, your inspirations,
Mm.
and your music. And thank you
Yeah.
so much. It was really great speaking to you, and I believe that those that are watching from around the world, they will definitely be able to find something from this conversation, but also follow suit with your
It's going to be a
music.
great pleasure.
Thank you
Okay,
so
bro.
much. So yeah, stay tuned. My name is Claude Marco, and you're watching Earground New Voices Amplified. I was speaking there to BONIQUE Lomar from Uganda, Kampala. He's a recording artist, he's a composer and a producer, but he's also a visual artist. He's like part-time fine artist, he's painting stuff. Yeah, we didn't really get to talk much about that, but I think on the next program we'll also be touching on that. We'll keep following. He's releasing a single in the next couple of days or weeks. It's called Song Ya Karibu. Right,
Yeah,
and
man.
we managed to sample just a bit of that song. Until next time, stay tuned, and thank you so much to Enters Productions for making this interview possible. And until next time, stay tuned. Earground, New Voices Amplified.
Earground Radio.
Bless up.
New Voices Amplified.